Welcome, friends, to the channel Classy Frugality. My name is Tanya, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. On today's video, I just wanted to take you through a few of the frugal things that I did today. Today is Sunday, and we started off the day by getting up, making a homemade pot of coffee, and having some breakfast biscuits from some leftover items that we'd had the day before. Then we went to church. After church, we always try to have something homemade, made at home to eat already. That way we're not tempted to stop by restaurants on the way home, or we're not too tired to make something once we get here. There's nothing more inviting than opening up that door and having the smell of food just wafting through the air and just hit you in the face. So that's how it was for us today. I depend a lot on my crock pot. So if you do not have one, I highly encourage you to get a crock pot. It makes life so much easier. You do not have to know how to cook to have a crock pot and to make delicious food in one. It's pretty much dump, turn it on, and go. And that's exactly what I did for today's meal. I also wanted to prepare a little dessert after we had lunch. So I'm going to show you that too. So take a look at what we had for lunch and then hang around for some bread pudding. After that, I want to show you another spectacular mail call. It is so nice to have something ready, hot, and delicious prepared and waiting when we come home from church. I had taken just some pinto beans and put them in the crock pot, along with a big ham bone from a spiral ham that I had. I let that cook on low for 10 hours. And boy, when I tell you these turned out delicious, they were wonderful. We just ate this with some chopped up onions, some leftover fried bologna, and just a little bit of bread. So good. I decided to make some homemade bread pudding. I had some leftover canned biscuits, and I did not want those to go to waste. Plus, I wanted something sweet. I had about 14 canned biscuits. My husband had a men's breakfast the day before at church, and so that's what he had left. And so I just took those biscuits and found an 8x8 baking dish, put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom to grease that dish. And I just started tearing those biscuits into pieces. You can use whatever kind of bread that you have. Any kind of bread that has gotten a little bit firm, like just sandwich bread, white or wheat. I have even used tortillas in bread pudding before. I wouldn't recommend it for the entire dish, but I have used that as an ingredient. You can use just whatever kind of bread that you have. So I tore those biscuits up into about 1/2 inch to 1 inch little chunks. And I lined the bottom of that 8x8 dish with those. With the amount of biscuits that I had, it ended up being a perfect amount to go in that dish. After that, I needed to mix up a custard mixture. That way, I would have something to pour over the biscuits, and they would be able to soak up that mixture as they baked. So I needed to use eggs. In this recipe, Well, I say recipe. We'll use that term loosely because I really don't follow recipes that closely. But the recipes I have looked at called for 3 to 4 eggs. Well, someone had given us some brown country eggs, and every one of those eggs were double yolked. I only used 2 double yolked eggs for the custard mixture. Now, most bread pudding recipes call for milk. I don't have milk. We don't use that much milk. What I did have was some creamer that I had gotten free from Kroger. I used about 1 1/4 cups of that creamer, and I poured it into that egg mixture. I also poured a little bit of cinnamon in there, probably about a 1/2 tablespoon. And then I used about a 1/2 cup of brown sugar in that recipe. The brown sugar was free to me also. My son had given it to me. He just doesn't use that much brown sugar. So I mixed it all together, tried to get everything incorporated as much as I possibly could. And then all you have to do from that point is take the mixture and pour it over the bread. So that's what you see me starting to do here. Poured it over. And then I just put some aluminum foil over that just to let that cover, just so that bread could soak up all that mixture. You want to let that sit for about 30 minutes at least while it's soaking up the mixture before you put that in the oven. So after it has sit and soaked up the mixture, then you're going to want to bake that. I ended up baking mine for about 45 minutes until it was golden brown and it had risen. I think this was the best bread pudding that I have ever made, and it was definitely a frugal dish, and I will for sure try to make it again. I hope that inspires you to take a look in your cabinet. Make sure you don't have bits and pieces of bread hanging out in the cupboard or in the freezer. Go make something good out of it. There are lots of things you can add to that bread pudding too. If you have some nuts to throw in there, just a handful, that would be good. If you have raisins or any other kind of dried fruits, dried apricots would be good in there. For some reason, that's coming to my mind. Also, if you want to make a glaze for it, if you happen to have some powdered sugar around, you want to make a glaze, that would be so good. I didn't have anything, so I ate it as is. By the way, I've had 2 pieces already. It was that good. All right, now I want to show you another wonderful package, or actually 2 packages that I received in the mail. You all, I have said this so many times, and I truly mean it. This channel has the best viewers on YouTube. I wholeheartedly feel like that. And you all you don't have to send me anything, but please, please know, anything that you do send me, it's received with a grateful and thankful heart. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Now, I want to show you what was waiting on me yesterday. I think this came yesterday. So, again, my friend Kimberly and her husband Joe sent some wonderful pantry items, because you hear me talk all the time about how important it is to build a pantry, how important it is to keep things on hand to cook with, ingredients, not just, you know, pre-prepared, packaged, boxed, frozen stuff. Keep ingredients on hand. Keep protein sources in your cabinet, not just fresh meat. Fresh meat is not the only protein source that there is. So, Kimberly had some things shipped to me. I love these. I use these both all the time. Italian seasoning and paprika. These are both wonderful for all kinds of different things. I will definitely use these. Baking powder. Again, wonderful, wonderful pantry staple. And I got 3 bags of lentils here. You all have seen me make lentil burgers. You may or may not have seen me make lentil meatballs, but I've done that to add to pasta. Lentils can be added to soup. There are just all kinds of things that you can do with lentils, and I really, really enjoy lentils. And so to get 3 pounds of them, this is wonderful. This is a great blessing. Also, I got some more tuna. And tuna is wonderful, not just for a tuna sandwich, but I like to make a tuna casserole using tuna and pasta. I might throw in some canned vegetables if I have them, or if I have some pieces of onion that need to be used, or celery. It just depends on what I have. That dictates what would go in a pasta dish like that, the tuna casserole. So this is just a really versatile thing too. You could also make tuna patties out of this. Add a little bit of flour, a little bit of cornmeal, egg, mix it all up, form it into patties. Similar to how you would make salmon patties or mackerel patties. We love tuna. This is one of Prentice's favorite things to eat as well. He does it simply. He just likes to mix tuna with a little bit of mayonnaise, and that's how he eats it. So this probably won't last long. Well, probably most of this won't. Finally, Kimberly sent this for my granddaughter. Animal cookies, and look how cute they are. Wow, these look really detailed. They're so cute. I like animal cookies too, but I can tell you right now, she loves cookies. She seems to really have a sweet tooth. She's only 2 years old, but she already likes cookies and candy and all the sweet things of that nature. So these definitely will go eaten in our house. They will not go to waste. But that was this was just such a great surprise, and I just want to tell you all again how much I appreciate you viewing the channel. If you watch the channel, you know, that's another way to support this channel. Just watch it. Just sit through the ads if you're able. You know, click the like button. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Those are all totally free ways to support this channel. And I will continue as long as I have ideas in my brain to try to come up with things to pass along to you all as far as frugal living is concerned. I know it's a hard time for a lot of people right now, so I just want to try to help as many people as I can. I really, truly appreciate everything that you all do to support me. And we'll get through all these trying times together. We'll figure it all out. But anyway, I appreciate you all watching the video today. Hopefully it gave you some ideas on things that you can make in your crock pot, sweet treats you can whip up out of nothing. But if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button in the corner. Until I see y'all again, I hope you all have a blessed day.